So would an Arsonist, but I've already got an Arsonist. Yeah, I've got 2 Arsonists. So the pick here is either the Companion or the Berserker. And I'm going to go with the Berserker. I'm getting a bit greedy here. I'm getting a whole lot of Bloodthirst and not a whole lot of Trample. I would like to see how Garrick's Companion plays because I haven't been able to see green that much so far. And 2 mana for 3/2 is nice. And I'd love to pick up that Rhino, but the Minotaurs, I just like them too much. I gotta grab that up. Looks like I'm gonna be heavily red again. I keep doing that. It's kind of weird. I think people underestimate how good red is. It's got the removal, it's got the creatures, it's got kind of the best of both worlds there. And Bloodthirst, you don't have Bloodthirst in too many other colors. But here I am going to pick up the Rhino. Combust would be nice, but that's one of the conditional cards. It might be blank depending on. I don't want the card to depend on what colors my opponents are playing. I'd much rather just have that solid creature. And since I am playing with Bloodthirst, the Tramplers are good to have. Just to get in a couple points of damage, even if they block it. And another Arsonist. I might be able to use those as my removal. It'd be nice if I could get a Goblin Grenade or something like that in Pack 3. We haven't seen any this pack, but they do exist, so they might show up. And get into the bottom of the barrel again. Hexproof, not really relevant. 1 mana for a 1/1, you just never want to do that unless they have some really good ability. The white Gideon's Lawkeeper is a good example. 1 mana for a 1/1, but he doesn't do combat. Glade Cover Scout, that would be the role that they play, would be to be in combat, and 1/1 is just not going to win any combat. And there's our Plummet. I think I'll pick that up now. Bonebreaker Giant, we've got our top end of the curve now. I've got the Rhino, two Berserkers, or two Minotaurs, and a Bonebreaker Giant. So the top end of the curve is pretty much taken care of. I'm not too worried about it anymore. It's more the early attackers, the enablers, couple of the mid-range cards would be nice. In my wildest dreams, I would get another overrun, but I don't think that's going to be happening. If I do keep getting past top end of the curve cards, I'll pick up some Land of War Elves and stuff like that. Rampant Growth, Manalith, stuff like that to get there faster. In the meantime, though, I'm just going to keep passing the cards those cards until I'm sure. And Fiery Hellhound should be a nice addition. I'm liking the Garrick's Companions. I might run those more. I might not have a need for the Hellhound, but it's good to have that just in case. Yeah, like I said, Land of War Elves, that sure would be nice right now. But I'd much rather pick up the Mind Control, especially with all the fat creatures that I'm playing. Mind Control just blows me out every time. It's such a big, powerful swing to take your opponent's biggest creature, because they lose their biggest creature and then you gain the biggest creature. So it's not just like, it's not one or the other, it's both at the same time. And that's kind of a big deal. We haven't gotten any Incinerates or Fireballs, so I'm going to pick up the Shock here. Because the Arsonists are nice, but they're not consistent enough. They still have to die. And Shock is just a nice way to finish someone off. Same thing here. I'm going to pick up the Shock. Carnage Worm is nice, but like I said, we've got the top end of the curve. I'm not too worried about it. Having a 9/9 creature is nice, but it's not with a card like Overrun with 5/5 and 4/4 creatures. Those should be enough to get the work done. 9/9 creatures feels like kind of a win more at that point. That Rhino's nice though. Maybe that'll table. I'm not sure. Looking over those, it's entirely possible. Another Companion. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll pick up the Companion. Lurking Crocodile, I'm not a big fan of. Island Walk is nice, but again, it's kind of dependent on what your opponent's playing. And the rest of this just isn't in my color, so I don't want that. And there's the Goblin Grenade, nice. So I think I'll snatch that up. Let's see, how many arsons do we got? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3. So Goblin Grenade should be nice. Bloated Ogre's a cool card, but Goblin Grenade just should be too much fun. 6 damage, very nice. And it finishes off with the removal. Now we've got a good way of dealing with any creature that they kind of throw at me. Alright, is Rootbound Crag, but I am playing red-green. I'd much rather have Hunter's Insight, though. I've said before, I love drawing cards. And this is definitely going to be a beatdown deck, so it's definitely going to be nice to have that. Have some draw cards to keep putting the fuel on the fire. What always happens with a beatdown deck is you throw down some creatures and just send them at your opponent's face, and they try to stabilize, and Hunter's Insight makes sure that they don't stabilize because you just help you finish the job, help you. Because usually what ends up happening is if they stall out, you're just basically playing off the top of your deck, and that's not where you want to be. Getting those extra cards, make sure that you've still got stuff you can play. Here I picked up another Titanic Growth, so now I've got pretty much all around good deck. I've got the creatures, I've got the combat tricks, I've got the removal, I've got the top end cards. The other pick here would be the Swiftfoot Boots, but I'm still the jury's still out for me on that card. I'm not sure that I like it. I'm sure it's a fine card. It saved me in the past, but I'd much rather have a card that actually has an effect on the field than protect you from potential threats. Because your opponent might not have any threats, so I'd much rather go with the sure thing of having the creature than protecting against something your opponent may or may not have. There I picked up I picked up a bear. I'm not don't remember what else is in the pack anymore, so I'm not sure if that was the right pick. And wow, that shouldn't be passed this late. I'm not sure which one I want more. I've said before, I'm not sure about getting the turn 7. That's I'm not sure if that's even possible. So I'm going to pick up the 5-mana guy. And here I know they're not going to play Glade Cover Scout, and Consume Spirit doesn't really worry me, so I'm just going to pick up the Swarm. I've got enough flying blocking, but it's just a good card that a black deck's going to want, so I want to take that out. Same with the Warpath Ghoul. It's a good card, so I want to make sure the guy downstream doesn't get it. So it looks like that's our deck. Let's see if the last pack has that last card has anything at all relevant. Probably not. It's probably just some blue mill card or something that I don't care about. Let's see. Circle of Flame. Probably not, but it's nice to have, I guess. I don't know. I thought that card would be a whole lot better than it is. It's kind of disappointing to see that by the time you drop it, like red doesn't want to stall, it wants to attack. So, same technique that I usually do, just do a once over, pick out my favorite cards, the ones that I know I'm going to want to run, and then I'll see what's left. And Bonebreaker Giant, usually that would be in my first run through, but I've got 2 Stampeding Rhinos in already, so I might not want that for my top end, because I've got plenty of top end stuff here. An Overrun, 2 Minotaurs, 2 Rhinos. By turn 5, I should definitely have something fat on the field. And the Arsonist should definitely help me get there too. Having those on turn 1, really handy. Alright, so that was my first over, and I only have 3 more slots to fill. So I'm going to fill it with 2 Titanic Growths. The bear's fine. I don't mind having that. Plummet will stay in the sideboard for now. I've got the 2 spiders. If they turn out to have an angel or a dragon or something like that, I might run the Plummet. But if it's just run of the mill weenie flying 2/2s, 3/1s, stuff like that, my spider should eat them up just fine. I shouldn't have to use a plummet. Titanic Growth, on the other hand, is always nice to have. You just throw Garrick's Companion at your opponent, pump them up to 7 power, get a couple hits in. Alright, now I'm going to divide it up into colors, see what I want. And it looks like I'm going to want mostly green. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then a little bit of red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I do get mana screwed, that's fine. I've got the Rampant Growth to help me smooth that out a little. So yeah, I'll stop the broadcast now, and I'll start again when I'm in the game.